Good.
This is One More Minute with McElroy on SportsRadio910.com. I'm Wes McElroy. I figured I'd bring somebody to the party this week. John Laser, Flying Squirrels broadcaster, hanging out in studio. Lays, World Series locked up in a game of peace. You know, sometimes you look at baseball games, they come down to one pitch, one strikeout. Thought last night came down to fundamentals.
It definitely did in the ninth inning, and I don't think this is the World Series that a lot of people wanted to see. But from a baseball perspective, I think these two teams, maybe with the Brewers as the exception, could have been the fundamentally sound baseball that we're getting. And I think the Cardinals are going to remember Game 2 as the difference in the series, because if I had to forecast what was going to happen going forward, I'd now like the Rangers' chances. Even though I did at the outset, I like them even more now. Big
question is, in the ninth, would you have pulled Jason Mott?
No, I wouldn't. He was the hot hand going in, retiring 27 of 28 batters. And I think a lot of times, unless you're looking for the strikeout, which Tony La Russa was doing, obviously, in the ninth inning, trying to preserve the lead, that the matchups as far as right versus left and left versus left sometimes get too much credence, particularly when you have a guy like Mott who's been as dominant as he has. And I know he's inexperienced relatively, but at the same time, he's shown the moxie and the ability to be in those situations. And I think the big mistake La Russa made in the ninth inning, not that you have to concede the fact that the game's going to be tied, but he definitely continued to play as though they were trying to get the win. And I think in that situation, you leave Mott in there, even if the sacrifice fly comes there to tie it up at one and doesn't move the runner to third, then you can escape not trailing, is ultimately what happened.
I talk about this on the show from time to time. There's pros and cons doing this job. Sometimes the con is that the faniness of our team gets sucked out, but sometimes the pros are we can watch a sporting event, just watch it as a story unfold. And I'll be one of the first people to admit I never thought I'd be on the edge of my couch watching the Cardinals and the Rangers.
Yeah, I think that is the beautiful part about it, is the fact that at this point you can understand and appreciate what a situation is, and when one is vibrant like it is in St. Louis, or was in St. Louis, and certainly will be in Arlington when the series shifts there tomorrow night. I know, having no allegiance to the Giants organization up until last year, how quickly we got sucked up in that rush. Captain's feeling that today. It's adrenaline from going over the building for him, but to make the World Series for one of these teams. And that is the fun part about it. And I think from a baseball purist, and I know you're in that category as well, you can look at this as somewhat of the defining moments of the game. It's just a bit saddening to me that at this point where the game is, it drew the lowest ratings just because of market share and football dominating this time of year and everything else. But if people are watching the games, and I know you've been talking about it on your show all week long, this is why you watch, this is why it's fun, because it's pitch to pitch, it's second to second.
Yeah, sometimes I don't care about the ratings, just care about what I'm watching, and it's definitely worth the investment. We also got Virginia Tech taking on Boston College. I wish I could tell you I really worry about something about BC, but they're just so banged up and hurting on offense. I like Virginia Tech. I just hope Virginia Tech doesn't play down to the level of BC. And a big weekend in Charlottesville. Can Virginia go back-to-back with big wins in the ACC? You can hear those games on our station, Sports Radio 910, with the Hokies, and 1140 WRVA with the Wahoos. And before I let you go, a lot of Redskins fans wondering what John Beck will bring. You're a Vikings fan. You have faith and hope in Christian Ponder?
I have faith in Christian Ponder that he's going to ultimately be the reason that he brings us Andrew Luck. He's not going to bring us victories, and it might not even be Christian Ponder's fault. That team is in absolute disarray, starting at the top with Leslie Frazier. I won't bore fans in this region with an X and O's breakdown of the Vikings, but no, it's not going to lead to a Vikings resurgence or turnaround. And real quickly, I'm not sure what the Redskins are doing starting John Beck either.
John Laser, Flying Squirrels broadcaster, keep him busy in the off-season. Good to have you, Lays.
Always great to be with you, my friend.
This is Wes McElroy. One More Minute with McElroy every Fridays here on SportsRadio910.com. You can find me, follow me on Twitter, at WesSR910. We'll talk to you Monday. Don't forget, Chris Landry at 5 o'clock.